Hey, if you just downloaded Simply Kinder's digital CBC word work and you're trying to figure out how to get it to work for you in Seesaw, this video will show you how. There might be a different way to do it, but this is how I got it to work for me. So what you're going to want to open is the word work file in Google Slides. You're going to want to open Seesaw, and you're going to want to open the application Paint on your computer. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Seesaw, click Activities, and click Need Ideas for Today. Go to My Library, and then you're going to click Create New Activity. I named mine Simply Kinder Week 1. When it says to add a template for student responses, I just clicked Drawing. Then you're going to go back to the Google Slides file, and you'll click on the very first activity. It looks like this. On my computer, on my keyboard, in the very right corner, I see the word delete. Next to delete, I see insert, and next to insert, I see PRT SCR. That means print screen, and that's what I use to take a picture of what's on my screen. There's other ways to do that, but I always just use the print screen button. So I click print screen once I'm on the page that I want to copy, and I go down to Paint, and I click Control V at the same time. And with the select tool, I will select just this top portion. I don't want to select the pictures just yet. I click Control C to copy it, and then I'll go up to Seesaw. And I'll click Control V to paste it. Stretch it out so it's nice and big, and then right click it and click Block so that your students can't move it. Once you do that, you're going to want to go back to Paint, and this is where you're going to begin copying these pictures. They are a circle. The copy tool is a square. So you're going to have to make them smaller once you get into Seesaw in order for them to fit inside of the circle, which is no big deal. So you'll select the picture, you'll click Control C, you'll go back to Seesaw, and you'll click Control V. Now if you notice, there's a white background, so it's going to cover up the circle if you keep it this size. It's going to have to be a decent bit smaller than the circle in order to make it work. I think that's fine. And just move it over to the side. Go back to Paint, and you're going to copy all of the pictures one by one. I'll do one more. Got the pen, click Control C, go back to Seesaw, click Control V, and just make it small enough to fit inside of the circle. When it's done, this is what it will look like. Okay, next activity. You'll go back to the word work file, and this is the next activity. Print screen, paste it, and what you're going to want to do here is delete these words. In order to do that, you'll click the select tool. It should already be selected. You'll highlight those words, and you'll click delete on your keyboard. Then you will copy just this portion. Control C, or you can right click and click copy. Go back to Seesaw, and you'll click add page, and click Control V to paste it. Now, in order to make this easier, lock it, and then click the T tool. Then you can type out all the words. Move it over to the side, make it a little smaller, and then it's interactive. They can drag it to where it needs to go. Okay, so when it's done, or what you could do is go back to Paint, click Control Z to undo deleting those words, and you can copy these words, and you can paste them into Seesaw if you really like that font. But either way, it doesn't matter. When it's done, it will look like this. Okay, the next file looks like this. Print screen, paste it into Paint, and then you're going to want to copy just this top portion. You don't want the letter blocks at the bottom yet. Control C to copy it, back to Seesaw, click add page, and then click Control V to copy that. Okay, I click it to lock it. And what I find is easiest is to click the T button, and the vowels are red, so make them red by clicking red over here and typing the letters out. So some of these might need the same letter. I think there's a lot of D's. So what you'll do is you right click it, you'll click duplicate, right click it, click duplicate, and it will make another one, and you can just place that right on top of that first one. That way it looks like there's only one, but when they drag it, it will actually show two. It will actually let them use more than one. Okay, so there's more than one A, and you can repeat that process with all of the letters that you need. For the consonants, N, make it blue, and you can just drag it over to the side and make it smaller. If you needed two N's, right click it, click duplicate, right click it. It's a little bit difficult to work with sometimes. Put that N right on top of that N. And then you can just put all the letters that you need over on the side here. When I originally did this, I actually copied them from Paint and pasted them into Seesaw. So mine looks like this, but it's actually easier just to use that T tool. All right, next activity looks like this. This one's very simple because all you'll have to do is paste it into Paint, copy it, and paste it into Seesaw. You don't need to do anything besides that because they can just use the T tool to type those words. So just lock it and then that one's ready to go. Add page again. This one, I couldn't figure out a way for them to be able to drag the highlighting color over to the word search. So I just changed the directions at the top. It says find the words and highlight them using the colors shown. So that's the way that I made that work for me. And so copy this, paste it into Seesaw after you click add page, and then lock it in place. And so when your students go to use this, they'll click the highlighter tool and find these words using these colors. So run is red, they'll click red and they'll highlight run. Net is yellow, they'll click yellow or the closest that they can get to yellow. I'm not going to be picky about them getting those exact colors. And easy enough. Okay, add page, back to the word work. This one, when you paste it into Paint, you're going to want to erase these sentences. So you'll highlight them using the select tool and you'll click delete. And then you're going to copy this portion of it and paste it into Seesaw by clicking Control V. Stretching it out and locking it in place. It's probably easier, again, to click the T tool. And if you can't remember the sentences, go back to Paint and click Control Z. That will undo you deleting it. So the first sentence is we go on the bus. So you'll type out we go on the bus, period. They'll stretch it. And then they'll be able to move this sentence to that box. Again, when I first did this, I just copied it directly from Paint. So mine looks like that. Either way is fine. Okay, and that last activity is very easy to do. You're just going to copy it and paste it into Seesaw because they're just going to have to type. So there's really nothing that you have to do besides paste it into Seesaw. And that is how I got it to work for me, how I got the Google Slides document to work in Seesaw. It's just a little bit of work on our part, but if you're being required to use Seesaw or if you just prefer to use Seesaw, that's the way to do it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.